You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It is Tuesday, June 4th. 2024. Yes, we are in that last month of the first quarter of 2024, and of course we begin to make our plans for the second half, the second half of 2024, as we made our goals at the beginning of the year, and it's time to do a little assessment to see where you are and where you're heading. We are transmitting to you this morning live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago, and I am Adana Kumbi, and what a beautiful day it is to give God thanks and praise for life. What are you thanking God for this morning? I hope that you have a long list, because there are so many things that God has done for us. So let us remember to give him thanks and praise. This morning, we're so happy that you're here with us. And of course, we have a lovely lineup for you on our program this morning. But before we begin, of course, we have to head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. Progressive Democratic Patriots political leader Watson Duke criticized the current THA administration for creating a police state with the deployment of 15 additional police officers from the Interagency Task Force and the Guard and Emergency Branch to address crime in Tobago. He argued that the THA led by Fali Augustine lacks innovation ideas. He questioned the rationale behind bringing more officers to Tobago, suggesting that Trinidad, where crime is also a major problem, needs them more. Duke proposed the establishment of Tobago Homeland Security to gather community intelligence and support the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in crime-fighting efforts. Up next, YouTuber and blogger Christopher Hughes, also known as Christmas Liss, was granted bail of $100,000 yesterday by a High Court master. Hughes has been detained last Tuesday and charged under Section 4.1 of the Sedition Act for a YouTube video in which he interviewed alleged gang members in Trinidad showcasing their high-powered weapons. Master Margaret Sukraj Goswami set the bail for $100,000 with a cash alternative of $10,000 and a required Hughes passport be held by the Canadian High Commission to be handed to the High Court Register by noon today. Ananram Logan and Russell Warner represented Hughes, while Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Daniel Thompson represented the state. And finally, the Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago is pleased with a license granted to the National Gas Company BP and TT government to develop the Maniquí Coquina natural gas field, a shared deposit with Venezuela. This field is part of the Plataforma Deltena region gas resources. The chamber emphasized the potential economic benefits of processing this gas in Trinidad LNG and petrochemical industries. This initiative is aligned with the industry plan and creates opportunity for chamber members. Energy Minister Stuart Young noted the U.S. government's license approval, highlighting that the Coquina's capacity of at least 1 trillion cubic feet of gas reserve. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. Of course, Biana, I have to ask you what is happening. It's Tuesday. We had a long weekend. I know you said you got some rest, and so you went back out to work yesterday. I want a report. What is happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, it's a bit disappointing this morning based on the news that we heard in Trinidad where, there was a shooting, and then the person who did the shooting, he find that probably that was not enough. He went to the hospital to at least, as the young people would say, finish the gentleman. And, it leaves a thought provoking. Is there a disconnect between the citizens and the state?
I know, it's troubling to know that, I'm in a hospital, I'm at a hospital, and
yes,
this can happen, and it really is troubling. And sometimes, of course, again, we keep questioning the confidence in the law enforcement and, the protective services and all the elements that, come together to ensure the safety of citizens and to ensure the integrity of establishments that have been set up by the very state. So, we're looking to see how that unfolds and what happens there in the end of it all. We really just want to live, as we keep continuously saying on this program, that literally all we want to do is live in peace, to enjoy our lives, to enjoy safety, to be able to not have to look over your shoulder or not be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Any sort of incident like that. So we're hoping that, we don't have to endure these types of news every time we sit, whether on a set or we hear something on social media, that we can just hear good news and know that we're living peacefully on the island of Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago by extension as well.
As persons would normally say, where is the love, eh?
Where is the love?
Yes.
We will bring it back in Jesus' name this morning. Thank you, Biana, so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we head on over to our birthday shout-outs, And to start off our birthday shout-out this morning, it's the man Wesley Beard. Wesley Beard is celebrating a birthday today. And we want to say happy birthday to you, Wesley. We pray God's blessings upon your life. We do hope that you enjoy your birthday and enjoy the celebration, the love, and all that comes with a birthday. Remember to put God first and to give him thanks for life this year. The big man himself, if you don't know, now you know, is William Nana Moore, the man behind the Tobago Updates Television. Yes, we want to wish you a very happy birthday, Nana. Coming to you from all of us here. And when I say all of us, I mean each and every one of us here at Tobago Updates Television. The family here, we want to say happy birthday to you. I can go as far as to say, even from our past members of staff, Julian Skeet, I'm sure he will send you his own personal note. But happy birthday to you from all of us, the production team, your reporters, everybody. We just want to say happy birthday to you and God bless you. And Shannon Batiste, it's a belated birthday. She celebrated over the weekend. A beautiful, beautiful Shannon Batiste. Happy birthday to you. Continue to enjoy your birthday, beautiful lady. And we pray God's blessings upon your life, that you continue to walk in glory and stay in his presence. Happy birthday to you. We also have an anniversary celebration this morning. We are celebrating this morning with Hubert and Cindy Law. They're celebrating 29 years of wedded bliss. Can you imagine? This couple have been together or married at least for 29 years. They look so young. But we want to say happy anniversary to you and congratulations for reaching this milestone. We know that, 29 years is a lifetime for some people. And so we want to say congratulations to you. We pronounce God's blessings upon your life. And we do pray that you enjoy quite a few more anniversaries. So happy anniversary to you guys. Right, and of course, I know you're wondering, who are we speaking to this morning? But before I tell you who we're speaking with, I just want to say good morning to all of our viewers, whether you're viewing us on our Facebook Live, on our YouTube Live, on Amplia 102. Good morning and welcome. Thank you, of course, for always choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We see you. We appreciate you. All your comments, they mean so much to us. And of course, I have to identify a few of our very loyal viewers who always send words of encouragement to us. This morning, Miss Pearl Murray Beard, good morning to you. Dora Lyons, good morning to you. Brenda Campbell, Julia Brown, good morning to you guys. Good morning to JSL, Boris Vincent, good morning. And thank you so much for always choosing us and for making us the #1 morning show in Trinidad and Tobago. So of course, let us get into who are we speaking with today. What can you expect from our show today? We start off conversations this morning with the man Vern Joseph. He is the chairman of the In His Presence 11 committee, and also Miss Judah Ross, who is a committee member. And we're talking, as I mentioned, In His Presence 11. Yes, it's happening here in Tobago later on in this month. So you want to be a part of that conversation to get all the details as it relates to that. We also speak with Jimmy Toussaint and Barry Joefield. They are presidents of TRIP, a Tobago agro-processors event that took place here on the island of Tobago, and also the organization that represents that event. We're going to have that conversation with them. And then we wrap our discussions this morning with Mr. Len Phillips. Mr. Len Phillips this morning is going to be speaking about an event that took place here on the island of Tobago, and part 2 is upcoming. So you do want to be a part of the conversation to hear what is happening and also how you can be involved in these events. Of course, before we start, we have to take a short break. And when we go to break, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Assemblers, I am Kimura Reed, your presiding officer for the first ever primary plenary debate to be done nationally under the People's House. Join us at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June the 6th, 2024 at the Assembly Chamber as 18 primary schools from the east, west, and north of the island will engage in a thought-provoking debate on the impacts and effects of the SEA examination as members of the THA.
My name is Lester Paul, and the reason why they should keep the SEA exam is because it's a standardized test, and the 3 most important things you need to know is maths, language arts, and creative writing.
My name is Stando George, and I believe that they should ban SCA because of the physical and mental stress that it gives to the students.
Come to the public gallery or tune in live to our Facebook and YouTube links. We've got it locked, loaded, and ready to go. Thursday, June the 6th at 10 a.m. This is certainly one for the books.
Tobago, we reach the biggest comedy event of 2024, finally in Tobago for one night only at Shaw Park.
My body, and I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, but you haven't been in the mood for the last 6 months. Love is a Walk, which played to sold-out houses across Trinidad, is coming to Tobago for one night only on Saturday, June 8th at 8:30 p.m.
You promised this would be the last time.
Yes, I tell you it's the last time, I swear.
You sure about that?
Tickets for Love is a Walk available at the Shaw Park Complex daily and at advertised outlets. Check social media for details. Shaw Park, Saturday, June 8th.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
put a smile on your face. When you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kombi, and we begin conversations this morning with our first guests, and they are Mr. Vern Joseph. He's the president of Dominion Promotions as we prepare for In His Presence 11, and also Miss Juna Ross, who is a committee member, and we're talking about In His Presence 11. And if you know anything at all about events that take place on the island of Tobago, In His Presence is an iconic event, an iconic gospel event on the island of Tobago, and we're heading into phase 11. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Adana, and it's so nice to be here. Good morning to the whole of Tobago, Trinidad, wherever you're listening to. Good morning, good morning. It's In His Presence time.
That's right. So in His Presence 11, 11 means you had 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 11. And here we are now. And as I mentioned in my introduction, that is an iconic event, a gospel event here on the island of Tobago. And so we're preparing for June 19th. Just in case you didn't know, it's June 19th. And so we're in the preparation stages. We're getting the artists together. We have committee members working and, pooling resources together to get this event going. And the excitement is building. So tell me, where are we in terms of how are things looking and shaping up? Let's start there.
Good morning, Adana. Good morning to our viewing audience in Tobago and wherever you are in the world. In His Presence is we are getting set. We are preparing. We work together. We have our fortnightly meetings and we are getting set. Our practices taking place. Contracts have been signed. Artists, they are preparing themselves. And we are really gearing up. June 19th is not too far away, but we are working assiduously. Our ticket sales are doing very, very well. We have our sponsors on board, and we are gearing up and we are getting set. We are almost there.
And what I like about In His Presence is that when you're thinking that you're going to a concert, you're just going for the music and, that kind of thing. But Dominion Promotions and In His Presence is known for having some element of surprise. Like when you walk into the lobby area, tell me what we can expect when we get there.
You will be blown away by, the logistics of the event. Every year we try to up the game. We up the game from the last event. So if you see the last event, we're going to up that this year. You're coming for an experience. You're going to meet people that you ain't see for a long time. You're going to get an encounter with the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's just a nice atmosphere. You could chill out in the lobby. You're getting all type of delicacies there. You're meeting friends, making friends, and it's a holistic family for the whole family. We cater from the baby right up to the seniors. All right, we have space for everybody. Everybody is welcome, and we are so glad that God has blessed us with this vision to do these things for Tobago. Tobago need a lot of these things. Tobago need more of these things. And we are so happy. Matter of fact, In His Presence was kind of on a hold for this year. But because of public pressure, we have to jump out and put it. That's why you see it's in June. Normally it is in March, but because of public pressure, we have. And as Jonah said, our sales are really going good, and we just want to drive it home. All the preparation, all the marketing, everything. We just ramping up everything because we want thousands and thousands of people to experience this, especially in a time like this where we need this type of positive energy in the atmosphere.
That's right. We really do need something to look forward to hope for, because as you said, the times we're living in now, it's kind of scary, right? And In His Presence has developed a brand over the years, a brand of excellence, might I say. And patrons know what to look forward to. They know once they're going to In His Presence, and I suppose
they have an expectation.
That's right. That's why your ticket sales are like that. And that's why you had that, as you said, Vern, the public pressure to make sure the event comes off, because people know what to expect. So we're talking now about the artists. We're talking about the artists for the events that, for some reason, you have this wisdom, and I suppose it's in you. Will tell me where the inspiration comes from in terms of selecting the artists. You're always so timely with the selection of your artists, and of course, this year the headline artist is the man himself. Look at, I see all the young people, even in our church, they already start to practice the dance because they're coming out with the squads and the teams to do the dance. So where does the idea come from? How do you determine who the artist is to select for each edition of In His Presence?
Well, first we do it reverently by prayer, and then committee members come together and they will choose who they would like to see, and everybody will come up with and sometimes we choose the person who, like, if 4 people have the same name, well, we say, well, yeah, probably this is one. The only time that got interrupt is if God himself say, well, hey, this is the person, and we go after that. That is how we go about selecting our artists. And this year we really want to make a statement, and we like the song that these guys sing. We have a very good, we're going to show the whole of Tobago plus Trinidad that our God is a very big God, and we're going to join together in Shaw Park that day. We want Shaw Park to be electrified with the presence of God, and as we shout and we declare that we have a very big God, we will see the effect after this event about our declaration, and letting the world know and letting other people know that our God is not no small God, is not no little God, is a very big God. And nobody could challenge his decisions.
That's right, and your life itself is a testimony of the fact that God is a big God. And so I too, I join with you, and I really hope that people take away from this is not just a concert or a show. In as much as your soul needs the entertainment, you also need to connect with the spirit behind the event. But as you said, is to honor God and to show him off, showcase him. And that's one of our mandates as children of God, to show him off as a big God, a big God that he is. I hope you all learn the dancer, because I'm coming to look for you all to do that dance on that night.
Yeah, we're starting to learn the dance after the next meeting. We have the tutorial and all of that, and we're going to, and also the youths is going to be putting something out just now shortly. So look out for that and be a part of it. Who knows, you could win tickets. Who knows?
Well, viewers, you're hearing that, right? Keep your eyes on In His Presence 11. Keep your eyes on their page, Dominion Promotions. Keep your eyes there. You never can tell. You might win a ticket. You might win something, or, to be a part of the experience. So stay tuned to them to see what is happening there. So remind us again, when is it happening? Where is it happening? Time, cost of tickets, where persons can purchase tickets.
Okay, so In His Presence 11 will be, our 11th edition is on June the 19th. It's a public holiday, Wednesday. It's at Shaw Park Cultural Complex. The event begins at 5:30, but I want to encourage persons to get there on time to secure your seating, the best seat in the house, and just come out. And the cost of the ticket, is $250. At the door, you pay $300. Children 6 to 12 years is $100. Under 5, it's free. So ticket sales are going. Come and get your tickets. Don't wait to get it at the door, because at the door you pay more.
That's right. And of course, if you want to secure your spot, because by the looks of things, almost everybody I speak to, you have your tickets already. So I know that it's going to be absolutely awesome.
There's no seating preference. Just come early and secure your seat for you and your friends or whatsoever. Ushers is not going to tell you can't secure your car. You just come and secure where you want to worship. At certain time of the event, the youth is going to take up the dancing area and all of these things. So secure your seat early. Come early and secure your seat.
That's right. And in closing, is there anything else you want to share with our viewers this morning?
But our tickets are available at Double B Enterprise, right here at Blessings Variety at the Port Mall. Dominion Appliance, of course. In Trinidad, you can get it at 98.1 or this variety store in San Fernando. You could get it there. You can also get it at Speyside by Judith, House of Praise, and Sweet Haven in Roxborough. You could get it there. Children tickets are available at 100. So you can get your children tickets. You can get your adults tickets. Don't wait for the last minute rush, and get your tickets as early as possible. And we're inviting the whole of Tobago. Don't care what religious background you're from. We want to, get people from unusual people from unexpected places where we don't expect the support to come from. We're reaching out to these people to come, bring your family, bring everybody. Let's have a time. Let's declare that we have a big God, and as we do the dance and get yourself ready, get excited. This is this event. You don't have to worry about police and no police van park up outside. You just come and you have fun, you enjoy yourself, and you leave excited, you leave positive, you leave motivated, you leave inspired, and you are encouraged that there is hope for all of us.
Indeed. Absolutely, absolutely. And that, of course, is an encouragement to all, So in his presence, 11 is happening there on June 19th at the Shore Park Complex beginning at 5:30. You're encouraged to get there as early as possible. Bring your posse, take up your space, and of course, just go through the entire experience. As Vern said earlier, that you're going to see things that will blow your mind there. So don't miss out on this event happening there at Shore Park. We have been speaking with Vern Joseph, the president of the In His Presence 11 committee, as well as Miss Juna Ross, a committee member there, as they put things together for In His Presence 11 taking place right here in Tobago at the Shore Park Complex. Ensure to get your tickets and be there. Let's declare that we have a very big God.
Amen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And of course, as we go to a break, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live.
In His Presence 11, Tim Godfrey. 19th of June, Labor Day, Tim Godfrey. At Shore Park in sweet, sweet Tobago, Tim Godfrey. Get your general admission tickets, $250, children $100, at the door $300. In His Presence 11, awesome ministry for the entire family.
Come on, everybody! What shall I render to Jehovah?
In His Presence 11.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT. Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef. 2 pounds cow heel. 2 pounds chicken foot. 2 pounds pigtail. Or smoked bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken. 3 pounds sliced pork. 3 pounds lamb slice. 3 pounds cheese. 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens has come down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road, it's a miracle. A million strong come together.
Rotisserie. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We continue conversations this morning, and this time we're speaking with Mr. Jimmy Toussaint. He's the president of TRIP, as well as Mr. Barry Jofield. Are we talking this morning about what is TRIP? What is TRIP as we speak? You're going to get the information as it relates to that and some of the events that they have been hosting on the island of Tobago and, in the diaspora. So we're going to get that conversation started this morning as we get the details to you. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Right, good morning and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Do you have Barry online also? Hello? Hello?
Good morning. I'm speaking with
Good
Jimmy
morning.
Toussaint.
Yes, you're speaking with Jimmy Toussaint. Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you now, yes, and Barry's
Right.
also
All right.
here.
Barry's on now. Barry's on now. Okay.
Right, so we're talking this morning about something called TRIP. And so, of course, it's just an acronym. And of course, we want to know what TRIP is and the genesis, the idea behind TRIP and its benefits, of course, to the people of Tobago.
Okay, Barry, you could go ahead.
Totally. So, good morning, Tobago. I would start off basically by looking at our economic state in Tobago. And I think that was the genesis for TRIP. TRIP basically means Tobago Reconnecting Investment Program. And if we look at the economic state of Tobago, by way of GDP per capita, Trinidad and Tobago is about 50 in the Caribbean. So we have St. Kitts and Nevis, followed by Antigua Barbuda, followed by Barbados, followed by Antigua Barbuda, followed by Guyana, followed by Trinidad and Tobago. And Tobago is somewhere way down below Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, the average GDP per capita per month for Tobago is about $4,000, which means the average Tobagonian earns a pensioner's salary. I don't mean anything by saying that, but it is the fact of where we are in terms of what we are producing. So we are producing on average pensioner's salary, pensioner's income. And we need to improve from there if Tobago is going to make its way in the world. And based on the list I called before, we have about 3 of those islands which are like Tobago, operating on a tourism slash agroeconomy, but they're doing much better than even Trinidad and Tobago. And why is that? They have this program called Citizen by Investment Program. And what they do basically, on average, they will have any investor from any part of the world that was willing to invest, let's say, 100,000 US dollars. They would give them citizenship and allow them to occupy the space. However, we thought there was a better way to do that if we were able to tap into the diaspora, because we have, I think, more people in the diaspora than we actually have living in Tobago. And that forms the basis of some kind of economy that is existent outside of Tobago that could add some value to Tobago. Just quickly before I hand you over to Jimmy, there are two economic activities that we think could add some significant impact to the Tobago space. One of which is a University of Tobago, but this university will have campuses that are operated by international universities. So, for example, a person like Dr. Jimmy Toussaint, who is a chemical engineer, if you are a faculty run by a university out of the US that is located in Tobago that confers a degree that is a US degree, then we could probably have somebody like Dr. Jimmy Toussaint come back to Tobago, lecture, be a part of the Tobago space. And the university in Tobago, let's say by where the Scarborough Mall was, would be the kind of fillip that a Scarborough redevelopment project might require. Then secondly, quickly, something like a marina, or 2 marinas, in fact, which would add some Philip to the Tobago space as well. If we were to get prospectors together and have the diaspora invest in it, we would also have another great opportunity for investing and developing Tobago. And it's along those lines that we have, purposed to start with the low-hanging fruit of agro-processing, agro-processed products, and the export as a way of beginning this drive of Tobago exporting in its way, in its keep. So at this point, I just want to hand you over to Dr. Toussaint, who will talk a bit more about the practical aspects of this agro-processing event that we had and the implications for exporting Tobago products.
Dr.
Yes,
Toussaint?
thank you, Barry. One correction, I am not the president of TRIP. Actually, Barry is one of the co-founders of TRIP. I am Dr. Jimmy Toussaint. I'm a engineer / scientist, chemist, adjunct professor by training. But putting that aside, I'm actually a born and bred, proud Tobagonian who is looking to give back to Tobago. Presently, I'm the founder of a business based in Tobago called Bayleaf at Bacalet. It's just about 1 year old, and it's a multi-purpose business. We're actually looking at several different spaces that we're working in. One is accommodation and experiences. 2 is events and entertainment. 3, real estate. And 4, which I think is probably the most important one, is that we are working on projects with young people, encouraging them, helping them to become entrepreneurs. With regard to what Barry said, many people probably would know me. I've been on Tobago Updates several times, but mostly representing another organization based in the US here. I'm in the US, New York, presently, called the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission. I was a founding member of that organization, and I held the post of PRO for, I think, over 8 or 9 years. And holding that post allowed me to interact with, have this huge network. And I should tell you, outside of team, since 2016, I have been trying to see, as Barry mentioned, getting Tobago products, agro products, etc., to the US market. And the question is, why am I interested in that? So it's a weird story. But back in 2016, I was in Tobago and shopping in one of the supermarkets, and I saw all these Tobago products. And then it had me thinking, because I shop in New York also, and as a West Indian, when you see these West Indian products like chubby and all that stuff, it puts a smile on your face. So I would see these products, but I know that these products are basically Trinidad type products. Nothing against that. But then I said, how come we have, Trinidad-based products here? And I went home and I saw all these Tobago products. How come we don't have that here? Because if the know-how to get Trinidad product is available and we are one country, then the know-how should be also there to get Tobago products to the US market. And from then I just started, and I said in my private capacity, and I actually continued and pushed that agenda in Team Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission. And it kind of culminated back in 2022 when the Tobago House of Assembly brought a contingent of entrepreneurs from Tobago with all their, great products, etc., to the Tobago Day. That is an annual event that team is now hosting, but that event has been around for over 40 years. So, Tobagonians on the whole in New York, overseas in the US, they come from all over just to come to the Tobago Day. So we were able to uh, uh, liaise with some distributors, and I kept them on my Rolodex, and some of these entrepreneurs met the distributors, etc. We had a show and tell at the consulate. So 2022 was a pivotal time. However, for the last 2 years, it kind of went quiet. But as the saying says, let sleeping dogs lie. But I just don't believe in that. I just believe you have to get up and do what you have to do. So it was so strange that I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got this call, and it was from Barry. I have no idea who he is, where is he from, but he called me and he started saying, "I've been researching you," and this is the this is the point he made. He said, "And I realized that you're a go-getter." So we started talking, and strange enough, he brought up that same idea of having agro-processors have their products in the US, and I mean, immediately I knew that I had to connect with him. So last week I was in Tobago, and we actually put together a program of agro processors. This was held at the Shore Park Food Hub, and we had a few agro processors come out, show their products, etc. And the purpose of it was, well, there was a double purpose. One was to select certain products based on the distributors that I told you I kept on rolling, seeing what they might have been interested in, and also to sell to the public. So it so happened that 2 days ago, I think it was Sunday evening, I took the products that the distributors were interested in, and some of these products were like pepper sauces, seasoning, confectionery, coffee, cocoa, etc. And I brought it to the distributor actually yesterday, one of the main distributor in Brooklyn for West Indian product. And he had some advice to me. So he loved the products. I would say he was blown back by the coffee. And later on, I actually sent an image of this coffee. I spoke to the producer of the coffee. He said, this is something that could sell almost immediately. But other advice that he said, and if you understand the US landscape, when it comes to food, drugs, etc., there are these regulatory hurdles that we need to surpass. But then there are also lower hanging fruits that we could probably, get by. And he mentioned that he would love to work with us to get our agro-processed items, up to speed to enter the US market. However, in the meantime, he also sells these herbs, etc. And he said that if he could get, the bush that we grew up on. Let me talk like a Tobagonian. So I know about Christmas baby bush. I know about guava bush, bay leaf, mango bush, all these different Corylli. He said if he could get those to start with, he has a very strong market for those. So that's just something I want to mention to you all. And he said moving forward, he could work with us to, couple of the problems that we have when it comes to products getting to the US. There are several, labeling, the chemistry, etc. Because at the end, and one of our main problem, which is something that we could get the labeling, the chemistry, and all those right because we have products coming here. But I think one of the main issue when it comes to the Tobago space is capacity, because you don't want to be able to send a shipment this month and you can't send a shipment until next year. So those are some of the issues that we are working on. I think that's basically where we are right. That's all I have to say for now. I'll probably turn back over to Barry.
I appreciate very much the information that you guys are sharing this morning, and I'm looking at the comments from our viewers this morning. Very interesting conversation, of course. Speaking about the Tobago economy, improving the economy here in Tobago is always a very important conversation because it impacts the livelihoods and the standard of living for all of us here on the island. And you mentioned quite a few things that I believe, I'm hoping that you have the conversations with the right stakeholders, that the investments can be made. Mr. Tucson, you made a reference to capacity, and that is one of the primary issues that we face here on the island of Tobago. So, as you go forward with this initiative, I do hope that you are able to have the relevant conversations with the persons who are, who have the ability to support and to give that measure of, investments in terms of allowing Tobago to enjoy the benefits that can come from an initiative like this. I know some of our viewers are talking primarily about the marina that Mr. Barry mentioned and the university as well. So I do hope that, as I mentioned, that the conversation continues. It's not just an idea, that we can have discussion, have discourse with the stakeholders here on the island and even in the diaspora to see what we can do in the Tobago space to get these things established for all of us here on the island of Tobago, and of course for people who are on the outside to be proud of and to be contributors to giving back to the island of Tobago. So I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Tobago Updates team to wish you guys the very best. I really do want to have a part 2 of this conversation in terms of where the discussion goes and what are the outcomes and the proposals and projections for moving forward. So, thank you so much for sharing this information with us. And of course, the very best. And as I mentioned, I do hope we get to speak again in relation to this to see where it heads in allowing Tobago to enjoy a better economic position.
One thing before I go, so all of these things that I was talking about with the agro-processors, it's going to feed into Tobago Day this year, which takes place on August 18th. So chatter is that there's going to be another contingent coming for Tobago Day. We are also hoping that we could get some of the items up for Tobago Day, up for in bulk for the distributor. And Barry, as you said, we need to have a part 2 because this is a huge project that what we are basically trying to do is to convert Tobago also to a land of festivals. We need to get back to the festivals, and the festival would be able to, would be a starting ground for Tobago products. So for product development, all these nice little kuma and all this stuff that you're seeing, we are trying to fuse all of that as part of the economic development, the future economic development for Tobago.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning and sharing this information, and of course building excitement, as if not for anyone else, at least for our viewers who are online, who are leaving their comments, and they're also leaving their encouragement to you as well. As I mentioned, we will have further discussions as we progress with this initiative, and we wish you the very, very best. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us and for being a part of this conversation this morning. But we have to go for a short break before we continue speaking with our guests here in studio. And of course, before we go, we have to invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We're just about 7:47 a.m. So if you're getting to work for 8 o'clock and dropping the children off to school, you have just about 13 minutes. Remember to get there safely. Safety is our key word in this Get There Safely this morning. Okay, we continue conversations this morning in studio with our guest, and we're speaking with Mr. Len Phillips. He's a musical director, and Mr. Leslie Ann Ellis, head of drama, as we talk about Team Exalted, back by demand. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning and thanks for having us.
Right. So when you hear back by demand, it means that the previous edition was well supported, well engaged, and so people are wanting a next part of this thing because it was so good and so engaging. So tell us a little bit about what Team Exalted is about and what people can expect if they attend this event.
Okay, well, Team Exalted, the name means Team Exalted Tobago is an inspirational group. And our vision mission statement is to use music and lyrics to positively enhance human and social behavior. What happened, we started last year. It's not a new people. It's a group of people who have been around, but it's a new entity. We will launch on the 27th of April at the Scarborough Library Auditorium, where we collaborated with Simplicity Drama Theatre. You're going to hear more about that from Leslie Ann, led by Leslie Ann Ellis. And the play was one that was derived from a Bible verse. It is based on forgiveness. And of course, there is a cantata, it's a church scene. And it was done so beautifully. The cast, the drama cast was immaculate. And also the cast of singers for the cantata did a great job. So people wanted to have us back with this production. So here we are on Sunday night with the repeat of 70 times 7.
I was just about to ask you what scripture is it based on, because you did say it's a biblical thing, and I remember the first time we had this interview, you did go to town on the 70 times 7. Mm-hmm. You're talking about forgiveness. Yeah. And so this is what this is based on. So it is happening on this Sunday, 5 p.m. at the Scarborough Library. And I know you said it's a church scene, so we're going to see some dramatization. Tell me what we can expect when we come to this event.
I think Leslie and Alice might be able to give you a more precise description of that.
Just get there. Satisfaction is definitely guaranteed.
Right.
Anton is the pastor. And when I say that, I say all. Mm-hmm. I am Sister Shirley, a well-respected, Sister Sarah, well-respected member in the church. I kind of posh, tush kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I think you all should come out. Mm-hmm. And on this show, I'm going to give away 2 tickets sponsored by Tobago Film Association to the first father that can tell me 1 actor and 1 singer in the show. and another to a woman who can tell me when was the last show.
Right, so viewers, for those of you who are viewing, whether you're viewing on our Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Amplia 102, is ticket giveaway time. The questions have been asked, and you can WhatsApp your answer. Give them the number to WhatsApp the answer to.
762-2351.
Right, so that's 762-2351. The question for the male is to give... What's the question for the male?
The actor, name one of the two of the actors.
All right.
And the female, you have to say when was the last show, the date, and where it was held.
Right, so that's ticket giveaway time. So for those of you who are viewing and you want to be a part of this, those are the questions. You can WhatsApp your answer to ensure that you get the tickets for the event. It is happening this Sunday at the Scarborough Library. And, you know, I feel that the way you guys are here in studio now, I feel a sense of excitement. I feel as if the content in this event will be riveting, right? And I know you mentioned one of the actors here. So if you were listening, you would have heard his name.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you mentioned two actors here.
Yes.
Two actors were mentioned here this morning, and so we expect great things to be coming out of this. And I know you tap into the talents that we have here on the island of Tobago.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked that, you mentioned that, because we have one new person, Loshana, who has joined the TXT team. And we also have Mr. Ryan McKellar and Precious Regis as special guests, Ayana Benjamin Charles. And of course, we have Jeffrey Lewis, Sherman Gooding, Devonish, we have Erla Bacchus Charles, we have Phyllis Duke, and we have Kinder Brooms making up the team Exalted. And I can tell you that the cantata part of the show is going to be great. What has happened also too is that when I did the script, I just handed it to Leslie and I said, listen, I don't want to have anything to do with this. You go ahead, because I know that they are capable. And I think, I'm giving her some kudos right in front of her face. They did a very fantastic job. We are even thinking about taking the production to Trinidad. And I think she has some other ideas for when we collaborate again and again and again. Also, too, I am informed that Tobago Updates is well involved with us, and we look forward to that production being highlighted in the future in a very serious and definite way.
And one of the very important things to focus on is development of skills and talents here on the island of Tobago. We always boast when we go on an international stage about what we have right here in our very space. We brag about our athletes, we brag about our scholars, and so the arts is also a good area to brag about as well. And I'm happy, and congratulations to you for honing the skills and talents of those who are upcoming, drawing from the ones who have already been established to ensure that we preserve the cultural aspects of the talent that we have here on the island of Tobago. What are you most excited about for this event coming off?
Me?
Either one of you.
Go ahead, yeah.
What somebody approached me and said, we need more of this in Tobago. Because they said it was so nice, they didn't expect it to be like this. I have a co-worker. She said, I know he's a comedian, but when I come to the show, she said, oh God, she's coming again on Sunday because she enjoyed the show so much. So we were at a standard on the last show, we can only go higher. We can only go higher. And I know my core of actors that I'm working with, I tell them exactly what I want, what is expected, do this, do that, do that. So I know I have the best actors working with me.
Absolutely awesome. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is happening here, Team Exalted Tobago, on the 9th of June, 5 p.m. at the Scarborough Library. Where can persons purchase tickets?
Well, for those of you who are viewing right now, just walk up to Tobago Updates office and buy out the tickets that they have here, because this is the only point of sale that we have. The other persons, you could call the numbers that are on the flyer and on the ticket, that we can book you. And we have 2 days to drop off your ticket and collect our stuff.
And let them please remember that the auditorium can only hold 200 persons. Let them don't live in regret by not purchasing the tickets early.
Right, you heard that. You heard that right from the team, the production team, saying that the capacity in the auditorium is 200. So you want to get your tickets early. I know some people wait until the very last minute. So let us not make that mistake. Let us ensure we get tickets as early as possible. And remember, there are 2 ticket giveaways this morning, one for a male and one for a female. Just remember to answer the questions. The first question is to name 2 of the actors. That's for a male person message in that number to get that ticket, and the female is also going to tell us when
the
was
date
the
of
last
show and where.
That's right, and give them the number again to WhatsApp.
762-2351.
So if you
762-2351.
Right. So if you get those numbers and you know the answers, WhatsApp, and you can win yourself a ticket to Team Exalted Tobago taking place this Sunday. I want to take this opportunity.
Just before you take your round off with us, if there are tickets remaining, you may be lucky to get a ticket to purchase by the door, and we have door prizes as well.
Absolutely awesome. So you don't want to miss this opportunity at all to be a part of this experience that sounds to be so exciting and engaging. So get your tickets early, call the numbers, and also visit the Tobago Updates office to get your ticket as well. We've been speaking this morning with Mr. Len Phillips, musical director, and Ms. Leslie Ann Ellis, drama production head of the Team Exalted 70 times 7. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I want to wish you the very best in your production. I do hope that people come out, and of course you get to share this experience with 200 more people. Well, except the one that is coming back. Right? So all the best to you guys.
So he is Team Exalted and we are Simplicity Theatre. And I would like to special mention again the Tobago Film Association for purchasing 4 tickets and allowing me to give away 2 here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And as again, all the very best to you there. And I do hope all the success that you can possibly enjoy. And we look forward to part 3 again. Maybe you might have another edition coming up.
She has already begun to negotiate to take this show to Trinidad, and I've already started to talk to certain people. So it might be Napa or Queen's
So if you know anyone who would like to assist in sponsoring,
that's right,
we'd be very grateful.
The call is out. The call is out. So for those of you who are looking for an investment opportunity, this is a great one. So call the numbers and get the ball rolling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. But we don't end our programming here. We head on over to Tobago Notes and then to GMT. So stay with us. And as you stay with us, of course, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago, we reached the biggest comedy event of 2024, finally in Tobago for one night only at Shaw Park.
My body, and I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, but you haven't been in the mood for the last 6 months. Love is a Walk, which played to sold-out houses across Trinidad, is coming to Tobago for one night only on Saturday, June 8th at 8:30 p.m.
You promised this would be the last time.
Yes, I tell you, it's the last time, I swear.
You sure about that?
Tickets for Love is a Walk available at the Shaw Park Complex daily and at advertised outlets. Check social media for details. Shaw Park, Saturday, June 8th.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun, we are beaches, we are rivers.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, you know when you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want had while I ask the questions you want asked. But before we get into that this morning, let's have our news in 90 seconds.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
The Progressive Democratic Patriots political leader Watson Duke criticized the current THA administration for creating a police state, with the deploying of 15 additional police officers from the Interagency Task Force and the Guard and Emergency Branch to address crime in Tobago. He argued that the THA, led by Farley Augustine, lacks innovative ideas. He questioned the rationale behind bringing more officers to Tobago, suggesting that Trinidad, where crime is also a major problem, needs more police officers. Duke proposed the establishment of the Tobago Homeland Security and gather community intelligence and support the Trinidad and Tobago Police in crime-fighting efforts. Additionally, the Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago is pleased with a license granted to the National Gas Company, BP, and the Trinidad and Tobago government to develop the Manakin-Coquina natural gas field, a shared deposit with Venezuela. This field is part of the Platform de Lantana region gas resources. The chamber emphasized the potential economic benefits of processing this gas in Trinidad's LNG petrochemical industries. This initiative aligns with their industry plan to create opportunities for chamber members. The Energy Minister Stuart Young noted that the U.S. government's license approval, highlighting the capacity at least 1 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves and the way 1 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves. Additionally, YouTuber and blogger Christopher Hughes, also known as Christmas List, was granted bail of $100,000 yesterday at a high court. Hughes had been detained last Tuesday and charged under Section 4(1) of the Sedition Act for a YouTube video in which he interviewed alleged gang members in Trinidad and Tobago, showcasing their high-powered weapons. Master Magistrate Margaret Sukraj Goswami set the bail at $100,000 with a cash alternative of $10,000 and required Hughes's passport, which was held at the Canadian High Commission, to be handed in to the High Court Registrar by this evening. Anand Ramlogan and Russell Warner represents Hughes, while the Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions, Daniel Thomas, represents the state. And that was our news in 90 seconds.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
Morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, this morning we are talking about all that's happening in agriculture and agricultural development on the island of Tobago. And this morning as we have that conversation, I have the privilege of sitting with Natisha Charles Panton, who is the Secretary for Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. Good morning. And welcome.
Good morning Tobago, good morning Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, we are always happy to have you here with us. This morning we're talking about the Sustainable Development Goals and the THA because you would have brought a motion before the House in regards to aligning the Tobago Development Strategy with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And the strategy that is being aligned with is called the Tobago Development Strategy, the greatest little island on the planet. Tell us a bit about that. What does that alignment look like, or what do you propose it should look like? I mean, if people watched the sitting, they would have gotten the whole, a better understanding, but for those who was not able to watch it.
Right. Well, it is a new direction that the Tobago House of Assembly is actually going to, get involved in. I mean, I want to put it across as simply as I can, as simply as possible. So we are facing a number of things as it relates to climate change. And we have to start looking at the best approach if we have to protect our livelihoods in Tobago, to protect our natural resources. And we have to find a way to translate all those, those UN SDG goals, like no poverty, zero hunger, climate action, the 17 pillars, right? We have to find a way to translate that into, what we call it localization. So our country would have signed on to be part of the UN SDGs. And we in Tobago, we took the first step to align the next 7 budgets, right? It's a proposal to have the next 7 budgets, align it with the UN Sustainable Development Goals in order to achieve specific, things by 2030. So as I mentioned, there's no poverty, zero hunger. So all these things we have to try to achieve. And not only Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, the Cayman Islands, all those small island development states. So we are just one of many across the region. Yeah?
Understood. Mm-hmm. And it says that you are trying to align with the Tobago Development Strategy,
yes,
the greatest
little island on the planet.
But what is that strategy? And is there a document of that strategy that persons can look through, peruse, and see what the strategy is and see how it's going to be aligned to those goals?
Of course. So the Chief Secretary would have said in the House that the document will be made available for consultation. So we are to look out for that. It would be, it would appear virtually, right, from the Office of the Chief Secretary. So very soon we'll be coming to the different stakeholders. Yeah. So we're proposing a framework that would comprise a caucus of the Executive Council, civil society, committees across the divisions, in order to implement it effectively. So we're going to translate these major goals into, several achievable goals, and it would all be informed by different stakeholders all across the Tobago House of Assembly and outside of the Tobago House of Assembly.
Right. So is it that the strategy already exists, or that consultation would take place in order to create the strategy?
Right, well, you must carry to the people of Tobago a proposal, right? It is a summary of recommendations from persons within Tobago, and we will be presenting it to Tobagonians, right? And they would tweak it accordingly, and then we move ahead with this strategy. Yeah.
Understand. For you, what are some of the core goals that you talked about climate change, but what are some of the core goals that you would like to see achieved from this administration in regards to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals?
Well, of course, some of the major pillars, no poverty, zero hunger, climate action, sustainable communities and cities, right? I mean, all of them are relevant, gender equality. So all of them are relevant, and in many ways, all the divisions across the assembly would have to collaborate in order to achieve these goals. We are not starting from zero. We have been actually plotting the pathway already with a lot of the projects and initiatives that the division will have been embarking on and rolling out. So I guess over the past few weeks, you would have seen the home gardening unit, right? They have been distributing seedlings and seeds across Tobago, yeah, in time for Corpus Christi, right? You see them in the schools training children on how to do gardening and to use the hydroponic technologies and all of that. You would have seen earlier this year, we would have launched the Women Involved in Agriculture and Natural Resources Initiative. That is all part of the agenda, right? Gender equality across several things. And so I'm trying to say that it is not that we are starting from zero. Last week I attended a parliamentary session focused on the same thing, and it was really surprising to see that Tobago would have gone a step ahead to utilize the standing orders, not the standing orders, to utilize the order papers in order to bring this motion on sustainable development goals. So we are ahead of the game. We already brought a motion. So I was really pleased to see that is the way all the other countries right now, they are actually going to do that. Yeah. So, and I think it's the right direction. Yesterday, someone on Facebook tagged me, and they said, Secretary, things are really getting hard because of climate change. You're seeing changes in the weather patterns. You're seeing so many things. You're seeing destruction in different habitats. You're seeing migration of species. You're seeing so many things, and they could feel it now. We have been talking about climate change for many years, and now you're actually hearing people on the ground saying we are starting to feel it, right? So if we think about the next 10 years or the next 20 years, where would Tobago be if we don't start implementing those initiatives in order to soften the blow of climate change? Yeah, because regardless of what climate change will happen, right? It is happening.
Correct. And is there any educational initiatives within your division to educate staff on the Sustainable Development Goals as well as climate change and its impact?
So because of the nature of my division, all the technical staff, they are aware of climate change and what has to happen, right? But in terms of this new agenda, aligning the development budget with, the achieving these goals, we're now sort of doing that process now. So you have planning involved, you have all different, bodies coming together, the different divisions. We all have a role to play, so we're now actually doing that. So we had the motion recently, and then you're going to see, us rolling out different things. Yeah, so over the next few weeks, our division and the technical staff and, the different divisions, we will be talking to each other and building this thing out to ensure that we approach it correctly. Yeah. But as I said, the Chief Secretary mentioned consultation. So we'll get to that point very soon.
And how important is it for you to get the support from members of your division in order to really make this initiative a success?
It is extremely important. I always say that my technical staff, they can't fake anything, right? They're well trained. We are setting up the Tobago Agriculture Research Institute and tackling climate change. That will be part of the curriculum, teaching sustainable agriculture, doing several things to ensure that we bring all our stakeholders, not only farmers, but all our stakeholders on board with what's happening, what's current, and how we could create a more sustainable future. Yeah? So we are putting things in place to ensure that Tobago is part of, that entire movement across the region.
Excellent. And we saw recently with the reshuffle that Assemblyman Sonny Craig is now in charge of carbon sequestration. How does that align with what is happening in your division, and why wasn't that placed under you, seeing that you are in charge of sustainable development?
I'll tell you something. Even though it's not, he wasn't placed under me, we understand that in order to achieve our goals in the Tobago House of Assembly, we all have to work together. As a matter of fact, many of the things that you see the Division of Agriculture doing right now, the Division of Food Security, we cannot do it on our own, right? Take, for example, I mentioned in the House, how small of a development budget I have. It is little to nothing. As a matter of fact, less than $4 million after I pay development workers' wages. So the Division of Finance would have to step in on many occasions to ensure that the division executes most of its projects, if not all. Yeah? So we must collaborate across the Tobago House of Assembly to achieve anything. So it doesn't matter where you put what, as long as we are all working together. And that's the thing. Too often we think that we can do everything as a division by ourselves. And we cannot. If we have to get into the schools, the home garden unit, we have to collaborate with the Division of Education, right? The Division of Health. If we have to achieve zero hunger, no poverty, we would have to liaise with the Division of Health. And, very, very often we talk about the cost of living and the cost of healthy living. But we have never had that discussion of what it costs to not eat healthy. Yeah? And we could get that information from the Division of Health, for example. Yeah? So while we work on the cost of healthy living, they could tell us, okay, if you don't eat healthy, this is the cost to you. Yeah? So, we can work together as divisions to achieve what we need to achieve.
Excellent. And guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a
I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens is coming down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road, it's a miracle. A million strong come together.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoke bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
we reach the biggest comedy event of 2024, finally in Tobago for one night only at Shaw Park.
My body, and I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, but you haven't been in the mood for the last 6 months. Love is a Walk, which played to sold out houses across Trinidad, is coming to Tobago for one night only on Saturday, June 8th at 8:30 p.m.
You promised this would be the last time.
Yes, I tell you, it's the last time, I swear.
You sure about that?
Tickets for Love is a Walk available at the Shaw Park Complex daily and at advertised outlets. Check social media for details. Shaw Park, Saturday, June 8th.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na, 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na, 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 na.
Hello and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Guys, we have been chatting with Assemblyman Natisha Charles Panton, and we're talking all things happening in development and agriculture, as well as the sustainable development goals and how that aligns to the THA's Tobago development strategy. But you mentioned earlier about the Tobago Agricultural Research Institute. This is a plan that you guys have in the making to bring, is it a university, agricultural university to the island? Explain to us what TARI is.
So what we have currently is the Kendall Farm School, where we teach farmers, how to plant different crops and how to rear livestock, right? But it would just be a recreation of the Kendall Farm School into a proper institute, right? Where you could get your certificates and qualify for grants and other incentives. Yeah, but more so, we're looking at the whole issue of climate change and how to introduce different technologies to farmers. So we're looking at climate resilience, techniques to transfer that type of knowledge to farmers, yeah? So we're aiming for our first cohort in September. That's our aim. We're working hard. We have a committee set up led by Miss Alicia James. And I must say that the committee, they have been moving mountains given the short space of time that they were given and the mandate that they were given. So the next fiscal, you'll definitely see more coming out from that committee. And of course, they would start off as a committee, and when the life of the committee comes to an end, then you'll see even greater things, yeah? So we're all in the planning stages of everything, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what is the productivity level right now as we speak at the Kendall Farm School?
The productivity level, so what the Kendall Farm School does, it trains farmers, right? And also create demonstration plots. So the farmers themselves, they would have the knowledge to go back to their holdings and produce, yeah? And of course, when we got in data collection, right, it is an issue. And I don't want to say it as if data collection in Tobago is an issue. Data collection across the region is an issue. I've attended conferences where we've had this discussion on how we can coordinate data to effectively manage agriculture in our countries. So TARI would be looking at that as well. We also have a unit called Research and Development Information Unit, RADIS, yeah? So they also are looking at how they organize data in the division, yeah? So the basic thing of just knowing what a farmer does, we'd have to move away from that. If we have to come up with all sorts of monitoring systems, whether it's for relief or whatever, everything must be informed by data. So TARI would play a key role in that, along with RADIS and the incentives unit. So we're at that stage where we're reorganizing our data collection systems.
Okay, we've heard the suggestion of the the University of Tobago or
Yes.
Tobago University. How does this initiative fit into that overall strategy or plan?
The Tobago University is, well, even if we have TARI and there's a component of agriculture, the students would have the opportunity to work with TARI, work in TARI. Because with this institute, you'll be exposed to many things, experimental, experiments, demonstrations. I'll give you an example. So we had a banana plot, and that was rolled out by the FAO, right? They funded the project, how to successfully grow and ripen bananas in Tobago, right? And I know we take it for granted that we have bananas in the back of our yards and we could just pick them, but there's an entire scientific process that you must engage in if you want to sell bananas at a commercial level, right? So that knowledge you can get at the Kendall Farm School. If you want to build greenhouses from bamboo, right? That knowledge you can get from the Kendall Farm School. If you want to grow onions or you want to start a herbal garden, that knowledge you can get from the Tobago Agricultural Research Institute. As a matter of fact, even recently, and I think I saw it on some media houses would have featured it, where you saw MAFAS, and we often bring the agronomists from MAFAS to teach our technical officers and farmers in Tobago, right? But you saw where we have farmers growing pawpaws, right? A dwarf variety, and successfully growing pawpaw at a commercial level, yeah? So when you leave the institute, you would be able to practice agriculture in its true sense, right? Having the scientific knowledge of it.
Okay, and being that Tobago has never gotten what it has requested from the national budget, do you think that you would be given an adequate amount of money to get the job done?
No, I'm trained to be optimistic, and I want to say how to respond to that. If I'm optimistic about getting the budget, I think we should get it. We should get the 6%. We should get what we're entitled to, right? But we know how the politics goes. But we at the division, we are not just sitting down and depending on central government. As a matter of fact, we recently got approval for $20,000 to assist us with our herbal project, right? Our herbs and spices. And, so we're out there, our technical officers are out there writing proposals, getting funding externally so that we can proceed with our plans. Aside from that, right, we have been trying to make money, right, with some of the things that we're doing that could feed back into fixing things or providing additional services. So when we got in, and of course I need to say it again and again, we didn't inherit new things. Everything was run down. So we had to rethink and strategize how to stay alive at the division with no money. So we had to, use that sustainability, mandate and come up with innovative ways to manage these different stations. So if for example, you see the Scarborough Botanic Garden Christmas Blitz, right? That was an opportunity to say, hey, we're about to look at our open spaces across Tobago, implement user fees, see how we can manage them, right? To take away some of that cost from the division so that we can channel the resources elsewhere. And you're going to see, if you haven't seen already, that we're going to do consultations as it relates to the Corlan site, the recreational park, right? That is in order to implement user fees. You're going to see we're going to be doing that for several open spaces. And not only because we need the money in order to take away, some of the burden, but also because we want to encourage families, right, to utilize these spaces. So if we have to build the greatest little island on the planet, we can't build it with children just looking at their cell phones, right? We need them to come out and to socialize, to get to know their neighbors, to get to know their cousins. And, you know, we need to build that, you know, we have child by child, family by family, village by village. So it is an attempt to bring Tobago back to what it used to be. Right? I could have called the names of all of my cousins, Trinidad and Tobago, right? Do our children know that now? Do they do that? Right? So we really need to start building families, utilizing the open spaces, right? And transforming the culture of Tobago from technology back to what Tobago used to be.
Excellent. And when we're gonna touch a little bit again on some of the sustainable development goals, because one of those goals are gender equality.
Yes.
What have you been doing in the division specifically in regards to gender equality?
Women would have played a significant role in agriculture throughout the years. History would prove that. And for some reason, they have been moved away from the land and more gravitating more towards agro-processing. So you would find women doing more of the cooking, doing processing and packaging. And we at the division decided that we need to provide that additional support for women, right? To bring them back out into agriculture and to encourage them to utilize their creativity to make money. As women, we do so many things. We battle with so many issues. And if the Division of Agriculture need to get on board with social protection, for example, and, you know, teach what you call it, economic dependence or financial freedom, I think this is the best opportunity right now to capitalize on investing in women, especially women who they have an affinity for craft. And that is why I have been supporting everything local, right? People across the space would tell you, I order their soaps, their creams, their body butters. They will tell you their preservatives, their local foods, right? I tend to support everything local because I want to be able to speak on it and to market it so that people will support the stakeholders in the sector. Yeah. So as a division, we opened up several opportunities to women. Training through ICA, right? ICA would have come on board and all the different funding agencies. We would have worked with the business development unit. So when we speak about divisions collaborating, we would have collaborated with the Office of the Chief Secretary and the Division of Finance to look at mechanisms and to improve on existing mechanisms to finance women gravitating into this type of activity. So I believe the grant was about either 25,000, but it would have doubled to 50, something like that, right? I just have to double check. But the incentives would have increased, the grants would have increased as a result of the division working with the business development unit, right? As a matter of fact, the Chief Secretary expected us to tailor everything to support the different sectors, and that is what we would have been doing, right? So I think that it's successful. We are successful, and I'll tell you something. Piarco Airlines, they came to us and they said, we know that you have stakeholders in your division and we have space. So if you all can come together, we would be able to transport your goods out of Tobago, right? So we are starting to explore the market. You see, TADCO would have engaged in, bringing the agro-processors together, partnering with other entities, right? So that is what we're doing, working with everybody to bring them up to not only to market their products locally, but also to export.
Excellent. And what are you doing in regards to quality assurance to ensure that those products are up to export quality?
Oh, yes. So Kariri, all the testing agencies are part of that collaboration, right? ICA as well. They have access to so many different stakeholders that can, So we have been working, Export TT, ADB, everybody, right? We know each other now, so well that we coordinate and we hold meetings with the agro-processors very often. You see those huge meetings in the Shore Park Cultural Complex, right? You would not believe how many people are just gravitating naturally, right, to what they know to make. Women are so talented, and men, right? And of course, even though we're saying we're referring to women, men also, they have access to the same grants, yeah? So we want Tobagonians, and when we say gender equality, we mean men and women, right? Gender equality, we are pushing for access to all these grants and incentives across the board for all types, yeah?
Excellent. And we're going to pivot a bit and talk about tractor pool. Now, for a while, tractor pool has been a sore point in regards to farmers complaining that they can't really depend on tractor pool to get the type of machinery that they need within reasonable time. How has that improved during your time, and what are you doing to develop tractor pool?
So tractor pool also is a sore point, yes, in terms of infrastructure, poor infrastructure. And a lot of the tractors, they weren't working. We had a lot of challenges in managing the backlog, the huge backlog. We had over 300 backlog we inherited. And we decided to come together with the Division of Finance, the Chief Secretary, thanks to you and your division, we were able to finance additional tractors, and the technical officer reported that, that backlog was down to 30, right? In the second to last meeting that we had. So I was really pleased to see that transition from over 300 to 30. And you'd still have the requests coming. So very soon, right, you're going to see they put out a notice that we're inviting people to now come in and pay and get tractor services. But I must say that there is no tractor pool in Trinidad. And that is so for a reason. Because farmers, if we are talking about financial freedom and getting to a commercial level, all these grants and incentives, for example, the $100,000 grant and all these grants, they want people to invest in the farms, right? Agriculture is a science and it's a business. And if you have to sit down and rely on tractor pool to give you that service, right, that isn't commercial farming. You want a tractor or some sort of, equipment that would rotavate or bank, you need that at your convenience if you're a commercial farmer, right? So tractor pool, there's no tractor pool in Trinidad. So actually what we're doing is really a hell of a service in Tobago. So we're encouraging farmers to get, try to source something that you can get at your convenience if you want to engage in commercial farming. And of course, if we're looking at food security, right, you have to become self-sufficient. Yeah. But tractor pool is there still. We're providing the support. And I'm really happy that our technical staff, they're really trying to manage the demands. Sometimes I get the cries from my technical staff that they feel that the public isn't considering how hard they work. And I'm saying to the public, they do work hard. To move from 300 to 30 is plenty, right? They do work hard and they are committed to continuing that hard work. The infrastructure development, we're trying to do things in-house. As I said, we don't have all that amount of money to contract everything out under the division. So we're mobilizing labor, even if it is labor outside of my division, in order to come together to do some infrastructural upgrades at Tractor Pool.
And which grants are available for farmers to empower themselves to, get the type of heavy machinery and equipment that's needed to support commercial farming?
So you have the national in the incentives program, right? Where you come to the division and you have there's a booklet where you would have a rebate, right? It's a rebate system. So if you purchase something, then you get a percentage rebate. And then there's the $100,000 NAMDEFCO grant, right, that you have to apply for. Now you can make up the forms, right? We could assist you at the division, and then the submission, I believe it's ADB, right? So you submit it there, and then it goes to Trinidad for assessment and approval. The unfortunate thing is that we don't have a lot of individuals, stakeholders applying. It is not limited to farmers. Fishermen can apply. As a matter of fact, any stakeholder under agriculture can apply for that $100,000 grant. But we don't have a lot of people applying for the grants. So we're encouraging people to submit the forms. The only thing is, we would have tried to lobby for the allocation to come to the division, and our technical officers do the assessment in order to, approve the grant and to distribute it. But so far we have not gotten that request, any response to that request. So basically, Trinidad does everything, even come up and do the technical aspect. But
so what about a request to have maybe a Tobago representative on that assessment committee?
The thing is, you want to be able to, nothing is wrong with Tobagonians doing that assessment. All the technical officers, we're familiar with the stakeholders in the field. We're familiar with every farm. And the only challenge is we don't have the allocation.
Okay.
And to settle for, I need just an officer, that's, I don't think that was the first move, right? The first move would be to request the allocation. Okay. But nevertheless, we are adhering to the rules. And we are encouraging, we provide the forms. We actually show stakeholders how to fill out the forms, and you'll have access to that $100,000 grant. So whenever they do their assessment there, they'll come up and give you the grant, right? But you have access to BDU grant now, which it moved, I believe, from 25 to 50, right? But you must be a registered entity. And I want to say that the new procurement arrangement, and that's something we should speak about, if you give me just a few minutes. Now, before you could have just taken goods from farmers, right? Now, you have to be a registered entity with the OPR before we as a division or as a company engage in business with you. Right? Otherwise, we'll be violating laws, right? This new Procurement Act. So if you're experiencing any delays as it relates to TADCO, if you're an agro-processor, a farmer, a fisherman, and you're experiencing those delays, it is because we're trying to train them and bring them up to the requirements, right? So that we could be compliant. Yeah? So the OPR, it is a challenge, yes. We all understand, before where they could have just chosen a contractor, you chose a farmer, or you choose no longer that could be done because of the recent Procurement Act. Yeah? So there are a lot of things that we have to put in place to ensure that Tobagonians become compliant with the national laws, the laws that are passed in Parliament.
Excellent. And guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Assemblers, I am Kimura Reed, your presiding officer for the first ever primary plenary debate to be done nationally under the People's House. Join us at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June the 6th, 2024 at the Assembly Chamber as 18 primary schools from the east, west, and north of the island will engage in a thought-provoking debate on the impacts and effects of the SEA examination as members of the THA.
My name is Lester Paul, and the reason why they should keep the SEA exam is because it's a standardized test, and the three most important things you need to know is maths, language arts, and creative writing.
My name is Stando George, and I believe that they should ban SEA because of the physical and mental stress that it gives to the students.
Come to the public gallery or tune in live to our Facebook and YouTube links. We've got it locked, loaded, and ready to go. Thursday, June the 6th at 10 a.m. This is certainly one for the books.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. We continue our conversation on everything that's happening in agriculture here on the island of Tobago with Assemblyman Letitia Charles Panton. And as we went on the break, we saw a few comments coming in about that Tobago Agricultural Research Institute and recommendations to align the efforts of the institute with recognized universities. Are there any plans in the making to do that?
Oh, definitely. So we had a meeting, and that meeting would have been posted on the division's page with UTT. And that meeting actually was the wrap-up meeting of partnering with the University of Trinidad and Tobago. So you would have students doing their masters and PhD. They're doing their completing the final term, the final thesis as well at the Tobago Agricultural Research Institute, formerly known as TARI. So yes, we are partnering with the universities. Of course, we're looking at accreditation and all of that. So we are moving ahead to form a proper institute, right? A recognized institute. And of course, that institute will be linked with all the demonstration centers. And just in case you're wondering what is a demonstration center, that is Hope Farm, Blemin, right? Or Louisdor, all the stations that you see with that sign that we're going to be placing on the stations called TARI participative units. So that means that those stations would be linked to the institute. And when the students from the Eastern Caribbean Institute of Agriculture and Forestry in Trinidad or any other institute across the world, their students have to do any final years or anything, they can do it at TARI, and they would be doing practicals at these stations. So you call them demonstration centers. Yeah.
Excellent. And before we went to the break, you were stressing how important it is for stakeholders, farmers, to be OPR compliant.
Correct. So this new procurement regulation, it is mind-boggling because people meet you on the street, you're talking in the transport, to and from places, people come into the division, they're talking about procurement. Why can't I get through? Why can't this entire thing? It is new to everyone, not only you, everybody, the technical staff, procurement. You've seen the chief secretary trying to roll out, different training exercises for the procurement departments. So it is new for everyone. The law, when the law came into effect, right? The procurement departments, they had to find, a way how to learn the law because you don't want to be non-compliant, and also how to accommodate our stakeholders in the Tobago space. And I must say that once you are spending state funds, you have to. It is not Mrs. Pantin saying that, Mrs. Pantin did not implement the Procurement Act. Once you are spending state funds, you must be registered with procurement. So it is not a matter of who you know anymore, right? That was the politics of old, right? Central government, they implemented the procurement law, and the Tobago House of Assembly, we naturally have to adhere. So if you are a farmer and you believe that things are being delayed or things are taking long, or why isn't this getting fixed quickly, it is because the procurement department, they have to follow the rules, the guidelines, right? And of course, if they don't, the penalty is very hefty. So in order to protect themselves, the administrators have to protect themselves. They would be, sticking to the rules. Yeah, because nobody wants to lose their jobs over this issue. So once you just be mindful that once you're spending state funds, you must be registered with OPR, right? You must become a registered entity. So, and let's look at the positive of it. The positive is, let's say you're going into BDU, for example, for a loan or a grant, right? Part of the requirement, you must be a registered entity, or you must have a farmer's badge, right? And, it gives you access, to a lot of incentives. So it is not a punishment coming from the Tobago House of Assembly at all, right? We are just complying with the law.
Understood. Let's touch a bit on TADCO as we round up our discussion this morning. The last thing we saw was an issue in regards to storage conditions down there. Tell us what has been done so far as you deal with these concerns of the public where the cold storage units is concerned.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't just limit it to the cold storage. So let us talk about the assets of TADCO, right? And some of the assets, it's hard to follow if you don't have documentation. So in getting in, the board, the company, a lot of the documents went missing. So if you are starting from anywhere, even if you're a student and you lose your notes, it's difficult to follow, right? From past lectures or anything. So just imagine how difficult it is to get a company with no material at all, right? You basically have to start from scratch. And now you inherit a lot of assets that are run down, right, basically. So from time to time, you would have issues popping up. And of course, TADCO has not had a major injection of funds. You could imagine if a division only has less than 4 million in terms of development, right, for development, how much I can give to TADCO. I can't give TADCO anything. So they have not had a major injection, right? And then you have a myriad of issues. You have to treat with tractor pool, you have to treat with people being owed back, overtime from years ago. You have so many things to manage. And this division, if you don't pay the overtime and it's backed up from so many years, remember you have people taking care of animals over the weekend. It's not that you could say, well, okay, we're going to let the animals and them feed themselves over the weekend. You can't do that. This division doesn't sleep. People have to work all the time. So we have to manage with a little bit of funding different aspects of the division. So it's not only food security, you have forestry, you have fisheries. Yeah. So we have so many areas that we have to manage. Marketing, research. So TADCO has not had a major injection. We are working very hard to get an injection into TADCO so that some of the issues that they're facing, they wouldn't face it. So it would be remiss of me not to say that managing TADCO would be difficult without money. And if we have to look at bringing this company into a profitable one, we definitely have to rethink how it is being managed. So coming to the cold storage, what usually happens, if you have a cold storage, you don't just bring your goods and it enters into the cold storage because it would change the temperature inside the cold storage. So you have something called the blast freeze. You have to blast freeze the goods first and then they go into the cold storage. So what had happened was something it stopped working. And the procurement procedure, it took a while. And of course, the part wasn't 25 cents. It was over $200,000, that one part. So you could understand the difficulties. But I'll tell you something. In prioritizing, we have prioritized fixing a lot of the issues that TADCO has. All right? We're just waiting on the funds to do so. So it is not an individual problem. It is a problem of depreciation in terms of the assets that we inherited. 2.5 years to achieve what people think we could achieve is insufficient time, given that we have nothing, right? And it would be unfair to have inherit a company, no documents, severely depreciated infrastructure, to expect more than we're getting. I have to say that so far, they have been doing an excellent job in managing their finances, ensuring that the workers getting paid first and foremost, and ensuring that we keep up with the demands in the best way that we can. TADCO has also been training the stakeholders on how to register with the OPR so that we can be compliant with the law. So if we have delays in terms of anything, just know that the process is taking place so that we can become compliant and nobody makes a jail. Yeah? So I am really happy for what they have been doing. It's a company that has been in the media forever. And I always say nobody throws a stone at a tree that has no fruit. We have so many companies in the space trying, and TADCO is the one always in the media. But I can understand. And when we sign up for this job, trust me, Miss Pantin, I sure would have aged 5 years in 2 years. 2.5 years. Because it's a division that never rests. Right? So, and my staff would tell you, I come to work as a staff. Right? They said that's extraordinary. They've never seen a secretary going to work every day. Right? So I know that I have been doing my best. Anything else other than that, they might need another Mrs. Pantin and Mr. Tate.
Understood.
Yes.
So we want to thank you for coming on this morning and giving us an update on everything that's happening in agriculture.
Yes.
So we want to thank you again. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and for making Tobago Updates the #1 broadcast station here on the island of Tobago. We want to thank you and hope you have a great day.
It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.